Hey, folks. Good day. Uh, Thanks for having me. I want to thank John for giving me the opportunity to speak about something that is very important to me. It's cannabis. And I'm very bullish on the sector, on the industry, on the movement of cannabis because I believe that cannabis is going to lead us into the 21st century during this time of transition that we're going through in this country and in the world. I believe America goes through a revolution every 20, 30, or 40 years or so. And if you look back through history, there's, the Industrial Revolution, there's the Roaring Twenties, there's counterculture, civil rights movement of the 60s. To go another 30 years, and you had the tech industry. And so now, since the tech industry reset itself back in the late 90s, we really haven't anything. And I believe cannabis can lead that way. And this is the perfect time to do it, like I said, in this transitional time that we're going through in this country. And if you're talking about cannabis, you're talking about the whole plant. You're talking about hemp. You're talking about THC. You're talking about CBD. And I believe they're going to heal the world, and heal the planet. As Bob Marley said so many years ago, cannabis can heal the world, and I truly believe that it will do that. Talking about the situation that we in now, this chaos opportunity. And I used to say with my business acquaintances, when there's blood in the street, there's opportunity, but not literally, but this is an opportunity for change, and I think cannabis is going to lead that way. I'm very bullish on it, and you're talking about one of the things that I'm bullish about is hemp. When I got into this industry about 6 or 7 years ago, everybody was saying like, cannabis and hemp, they're going to change the world or whatever, and I thought it was all hyperbole and hype and exaggeration, but once I did a deep dive into it and started studying about it and researching about it and hearing about it from great speakers or whatever, I truly believe that. There's not a market that hemp cannot go into and disturb and take over. This country, as we all know, was founded on hemp. And the founding fathers were hemp farmers, and the Constitution was written on hemp and everything. So, you're talking about hemp going into oil, it can do that. It's going to disturb that market. You're talking about the $5 billion a year industry of paper. Hemp can disrupt that. You're talking about fiber and cotton. I believe that's 700 billion. It can do that. When you're talking about plastics, that's $1.1 trillion. Hemp is going to transform that, disrupt it, and take it over. Those three and four sectors, that's over $2 trillion. And not only that, it has no carbon footprint. It can heal the planet. It can bring back manufacturing jobs in this country. It can go into the communities that have most been affected by the prohibition of cannabis, and they can regenerate their own community. It can bring health. It can bring wealth. This is going to change it. This is the last year of the 20th century. We're going into the 21st century, and it's going to lead the way. There's nothing that it cannot disturb. You're talking about hempcrete. The only issue with hempcrete is like the solvent or whatever, like with concrete, they can get rid of the solvent. We really haven't figured that out yet, but there are enough smart people in this industry, in this business, to figure that out, to figure out how to get rid of that solvent. So future generations are going to look at us and think we were cavemen, living in caves and wearing animal skins because we've had this plant and we medicated with it, used it for thousands of years, and then we cut it off for the last 100 years or so. It shouldn't have been that way, and it's not going to be that way. You want to talk about the medicinal side of the plant with THC and CBD? Well, I always paint the picture of the Trojan horse. I think the Trojan horse, to get it into all communities, to get it into middle America, to get it into the South, to get it into your grandmother's bedrooms and your aunts and your mothers, I think that's going to be CBD. I think CBD is going to heal a lot of ills that are affecting people in the society. It's going to help out kids. It's going to help out soldiers. It's going to help out athletes. It's going to help out everyday people. One of the frustrating things to me is going to my older relatives' houses and in their bedroom, sitting on the nightstand, there's all these medicines. CBD, THC, plant of cannabis will cut that down. When you're talking about healing this nation, what about the putting CBD and THC, high strain of THC and CBD into the rehab centers so they won't have to be on methadone? That's what we're talking about, because this country has an opiate addiction problem, and we all know that. That's one of the reasons why I got behind this plant, because
It's 10 o'clock.
I played football, and football players, former players, there's 22,000 of us. We're 4 times as more likely to abuse opiates in general society. So you know what's happening with general society. Imagine what's happening to my community. And I'm pounding and pounding on the NFL to give these guys an alternative, let them use THC and CBD as a medicinal medicine. And I don't get into the deal about recreation, adult use, and medicinal cannabis, because to me, it's all the same. Cannabis is medicine. I don't know anybody that gets high just to get high. Everybody I know that that smoke cannabis or what have you, they smoke to feel better. They don't smoke it just for being for frivolous and whatever. They smoke it to feel better, to relax, to get rid of the anxiety, to get rid of some pain. Cannabis is medicine, and it can heal this country and it can heal this nation. We are at the precipice, as I keep saying, of a turn in this country, and cannabis can use it. You're seeing the turn with, the community gardens and people becoming vegan and vegetarians and getting back to nature. We can do it. We can do it with this community right here. When the race really started was in 2012, when Oregon and Colorado became legal with adult use, and it really started in earnest. Now you have over 2/3 of the state either medically or in adult use. We're still in the single propeller age. We're not in the twin propeller age. We're not in the jet age. We're not in the space age. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And this plant does not need to be hyped. It doesn't need to be anything. I came from the public markets, and when I got into the public markets at the beginning of the century, after I retired from the NFL, the tech revolution was happening, and it had reset itself, but there was still over $2.3 trillion in the public market with tech companies. I believe when cannabis is legal, the legalization of cannabis, which is going to happen sooner than later, probably in the next few years or next couple of years, it could happen next year, that $2.3 million that was in the tech industry and everybody thought it was a lot, wait until you see the money that's going to come into this industry. I'm predicting, I'm telling my friends, it's going to be over $10 trillion. Everybody doesn't want, big pharma and big tobacco coming in here. Well, they're here, but one of the things that they're going to bring the billions and trillions of dollars of R&D that we need to really know what this plant can do. There are so many cannabinoids that we don't know about. We only know about a few of the cannabinoids. Like I said, future generations are going to look back at us and think like we were ignorant, because we had this plant and it can do so many things. And it's going to be everywhere. You're going to see it everywhere. It's going to be over the counter. It's going to be prescription, and it's natural, has no negative side effects. It's non-toxic, non-addiction. This thing is going to be in every medicine cabinet in America and in the world, probably in the next decade. That's what it has the potential to do. You're going to wear hemp clothing. Your house is going to be at a hempcrete. Your everything that your house, the room you're sitting in, comes from the cannabis. It can come from the cannabis plant. But we have a responsibility for the generation that is going to come after us to tell the truth, to stick to the facts, and don't overhype this plant. That's one of the things that gets me upset about this industry is people want to overhype this plant, and it doesn't need to be. People want to make all these claims, and right now we can't make any claims. And people do that, and that's setting the industry back. Just stick to the facts and tell them. What does it do for you? Well, I take a lot of CBD. It makes me feel better. It creates homeostasis in my body, and that's what it does for me. Everybody's body is different. We all know with the FDA and the DEA, we can't make any medical claims as of yet, but we know that it has medicinal benefits. Let's play and adhere to the rules that we have to play under right now. But that's going to end soon. When I first got into this space in 2014, with the NFL, it was always a matter of if, 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 if. Then it became when, and now they're allowing took it off the ban list. Major League Baseball doesn't test for it. NBA doesn't test for it. NHL doesn't test for it. It's hands off. It's happening. It's happening in the sports world. It's going to happen everywhere. It's either going to happen through the legislature or it's going to happen through the body of Congress. Either way, it's going to happen. Be prepared, because this thing is going to change the world. It's going to heal the world. It's going to save the planet. Everybody's talking about save the planet, and I always say the planet's going to be here. The planet's been here for millions of years. It's going to be here for millions of years more. But it's saving ourselves. It's saving ourselves for our kids and our grandkids, and giving them an environmental future that they don't have to deal with some of the things that we're heading down the road with as far as climate change. This thing, man, I'm telling you. If you think about where I'm from, Texas, we have the 13th largest economy. If you think about California, that has the 5th largest economy in the world, wait until they start putting hemp and start growing hemp and the legalization of cannabis. It's going to be phenomenal. This country is going to come back. The manufacturing jobs are going to come back. This is going to be the biggest revolution outside of the first one we had that this country's ever had. And the thing is it's going to be the opportunity not to do business as usual, but to do a better business. We're going to do a better business than any other industry has ever done. Because when we legalize this plant, there's also has to be policies in place to make sure that everybody has a level playing field. And when I say a level playing field, I'm talking about social equity for the people that have been affected the most by a prohibition of cannabis and are still being affected by it. And equity is not equality. Equality is I'm 6'6". So if there's a 11-foot, 12-foot light bulb needs to be changed, and my partner is 5'5", they give us both a 4-foot ladder. Well, that's equity. No, equality is giving him a taller ladder, give him the ladder that it's going to take him to get to that light bulb, and giving me the ladder that's going to take me to get to that light bulb, giving everybody every chance to succeed. We have to open up our prisons and our jail and let the prisoners go, the nonviolent prisoners that are in prison for this plant. And we have to give them every opportunity to succeed. There's going to be enough of the economic boom where we can help them out, help the underserved, help the elderly. This plan is going to change everything. So, listen, be of good cheer, and be very bullish on this plant, because it's going to change the world. It's going to change the way we medicate ourselves, the way we eat, the way we drink, the way we clothe ourselves, the way whatever we're living in, whatever we're driving in. This thing is going to take us through the 21st century and beyond. I'm just a placeholder in this wonderful place, because the athlete that's going to bring this plant into middle America and be on commercials, he's probably in elementary school right now. So we're all just placeholders. Remember that. But let's leave them a good place to sit down. Let's leave them a good environment and industry to take it forward, because we have to. We definitely have to. On a other note, Everybody knows I'm suing the DOJ, and we've gone to the Supreme Court. We wrote amicus briefs, and we had the most briefs submitted to the Supreme Court since 2008. We had some wonderful organizations. I'd like to thank them. Athletes for Care. I know even and Riley are gonna do a panel. I want to give them a shout out. And I want to give Athletes for Care a shout out. But next week, the Supreme Court is going to decide if they hear our case, and we'll go from there. So it's either going to happen through the court, it's going to happen through the body of Congress, but this thing is going to happen. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. And when America 2.0 opens back up and the world opens back up, I look forward to seeing you all. We're all in this together. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's keep pushing hard and fast and strong and make this thing happen. I want to thank everybody and thank John and thank the whole Plant Expo for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.